All right, Sean. Oh, sorry. You good to go?
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool. All right. Sean Zittel here with Bang Bang Lulu Hawton. What's up? What's up? The former
What's up?
WBC interim champion of the world, trying to become champion again, both
Let's go.
between 102 and 105, right? Or
Yeah,
what?
so yeah, I was a WBC champion at 102 atom weight. I was the former WBO light flyweight champ, so I generally like to compete at 105 though, but you take it where you can.
Let's get it right. Two division champion.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, let's get it right. But
Yeah,
um, but Luisa, I heard rumblings, around the sport that you wanted a Senesia Estrada fight.
yeah.
But ultimately, she hangs the gloves up, walks away undefeated and undisputed. Just what's your thoughts on all that? On Senesia walking away kind of in her prime, you could say for
Yeah.
sure.
You know what? I of course I wanted that fight. She's the best in the division, and to share the ring with someone like her would have been amazing. But huge congratulations to her. Really, in all fairness, she's done amazing things for the sport, for women in boxing, for women in sport, and she's been living that life for a very long time. So perhaps people see her in her prime, but at the same time, she's in the prime of her life right now too, and as a woman, there's many other things to do outside the ring and a lot of life to enjoy outside the ring. So I respect the time and effort that she's given to such a tough sport and to make it all the way to the top to retire undefeated, undisputed. Isn't that what like is the holy grail? So huge congratulations to her. Would have loved to have shared the ring with her just because of, all of those things that she's achieved and to test myself and challenge myself as well. But massive respect.
I do want to talk a little bit more about her retirement, but before I do,
Mm-hmm.
for the audience that could see, I'm 33 and Lulu is 39, and
Yes.
yet you look like 29. You look younger than me at
Thanks,
33.
Sean.
Well, what are you doing? How are you doing this? You're almost 40 years old and you look like you're still, a young fighter.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that, Sean. I appreciate it. I think it's about living a healthy lifestyle, really, to be honest. And I feel like our mind is our most powerful thing. So we're only as old as we feel. And if we let that settle in too early, then that's what we'll be. But if we keep trying to drive and achieve things and give ourselves goals, then that's what we look at. And that keeps us young, keeps us fresh. And, I'm inspired by, many women around me that are older and the things that they're doing. It just inspires the shit out of me. So my elite performance coach is one of them. She's amazing. And Shireen, yeah, there's nothing that we can't do. It's just all about our mental power and where we put that. So if we have that strength there and we do the action behind it, you know, that's the life that we live, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And reminds me of like Bernard Hopkins in men's boxing,
Yeah.
was taught live the life, like you're talking.
Exactly.
But with Sinisa, um she did talk about she was dealing with some injuries, and then there's this thing with, if you're a female fighter, that's different than if you're a man, which is, if you want to have a family, that's going to kind of cost you, at least for some period of time, your profession. Like, whereas
Yeah,
men,
of course.
they could keep doing what
They
they
can
do.
keep going.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And
that's right.
right. So do you think that definitely, that may, I mean, we're, she hasn't, she's going to do an interview where she kind of goes in depth about all of it, but do you feel like that
Uh-huh.
probably played a role in her stepping away?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, she's in the prime of her life right now, not just in her sport. So, as a woman, you think about these things, and there are so many other things outside boxing for you to have a lot of joy and experience. And thankfully, I had my kids before I started boxing. So, juggling that as a mom was challenging as well. But, to take that time out for her, I think she's given enough to the sport. She's paved the way for many other women and young girls coming in. So I think that for her to look at it, to be able to retire at the top, it's a good move. And then focus on other things in her life. I mean, know that she's opened up the pathway for her to have success in many, many things. So there's great things for her to look forward to. If you're asking me, that's had a bit of experience in life itself. There's so many things that she could do that are going to be amazing.
But I mean, obviously you're a fighter, so would you not be surprised if she does come back at some point, or do you think that's it?
I guess as a fighter, like there's always that drive and that energy inside of you. Maybe she'll have those feelings, depending on what's going on in her life at that time. If she feels that she wanted to do that, then perhaps. But I guess that will only come in time and see how she feels on the inside. But I don't think that that fighter ever leaves you. Like as a competitive nature of being an athlete, I think it's always inside of you. It's just where you decide to put that energy, and she could put it into so many things. So if she has that drive to come back, like a lot of fighters do, perhaps we'll see her back. But if not, hopefully she puts it into other great things that she can be successful at.
Well, I definitely want to defer to you on this because as far as my knowledge of the history of these divisions in women's boxing, I know yourself, I know
Mm-hmm.
Sinisa, I know Yokasta Valle, and I know
Yeah.
Marlon Esparza. Uh,
Yeah.
but maybe I wouldn't be surprised if you know a lot more than me about the history of these weight classes. Does she go down,
Mm-hmm.
as one of the great fighters in these lower weights?
Sanisa?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Look what she's achieved. Like you can't override that shit, you know. And if it does get overrided, it's bullshit. She definitely deserves the recognition that she's worked her ass off for her whole life, like since she was 8. So yeah, definitely feel that she goes down as one of those. Yeah, she's done a lot for the sport. I can't say bad things about it because I respect what the time and effort and the sacrifices that she's made for the sport, like knowing what it takes myself, that when you give your time and energy to something, with the passion and the fire and, overcoming the obstacles that we have to face as fighters and as women in this sport, how can you not respect that? Yeah.
Did you at least ever get to spar her? You know?
No, I'm spewing. I never even got to move around with it. Maybe she'll jump in and help me get ready for a Yocosta fight. Who knows?